Hey guys, I know it's been almost a year, not really, but 4 months from now, it's going to be a year since I dropped Teenage Nightmare. And I just want to talk about some reflections and stuff regarding that album because working on it was horrible, and that entire album is a dumpster fire. So I'm going to do this kind of in a process by process type thing. Like, first, I'll go over the actual planning, then the recording, then the release, and all the and blah blah blah, yada yada. You get the point. So the first thing I want to really go over here is actually planning this album. So, like, I want to say maybe a year ago in March or so, I started planning a project. It was a completely different album than what actually came out. Like, most of the songs on that album didn't actually carry over to what was actually released, except maybe one or two at most. So I originally planned on making I think it was like a 14 song album, something like that, which was going to be called The Story of a Broken Life. That was made out of pure, just frustration, because I just wanted to, get somewhere with my plans, and I was getting absolutely nowhere. So I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm just going to throw this idea out there, and I'm going to see where it goes. It went absolutely nowhere. I was gonna make it an alternative project that ended up getting canceled, but go figure. So the story of Broken Life, I believe it was a 14 song album. This is based purely off memory. I have all this stuff from it on my phone, but I don't feel like looking right now. So that never happened. So what was next? So one day I got bored. So I opened my graphic design app that I use to make all my album covers and all that, and I just kind of took a good picture and put some edits on it to see how it would look. And that's basically how the cover of Teenage Nightmare Teenage Nightmare came to be. Sorry, this video is completely unscripted. I don't know what I'm doing here. But that's how the cover of Teenage Nightmare came to be. Then the idea came from me sitting in I think my physics class, and I was bored. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna see what I have here. I'm gonna see what I can make out of it. And then the cover of Teenage Nightmare became a thing. So I had three songs initially planned for it. If I remember correctly, it was The Real Victim, Gray Line, and what was the last one? I don't remember. Oh, it was I think I'll Be Dead Before My Grave. Yeah, it was that one. I'll need to double check that, but again, this is like completely unscripted. I don't know what I'm talking about here. This is just going purely off memory. But yeah, those were the three songs. So that's initially what I had planned. A quick 3 song EP, getting my name out there, just finding random beats off the internet, seeing what I can use and how I can implement them in a way that works. So then came the cycle of not wanting to do anything because I was not very happy with anything at the current time. Again, this was like over a year ago. So I kind of start circling back to the story of Broken Life a little bit, and there was one song that I recorded, tried to record, which was "Price of Life," which I don't think is currently being used for anything. I recorded a little bit of that song, and I'm like, well, this sucks. My writing sucks. What am I gonna do here? So I went back and looked at stuff for Teenage Nightmare, and I'm like, I have a couple other ideas from albums that aren't being used right now, which is where the songs Overcharged Hell and I Hate Myself Sometimes came from. Now, Overcharged Hell was originally not supposed to have the tone that it has, but here we are, it has that tone. And I Hate Myself Sometimes wasn't even originally a song. That was just like one of those things that I just kind of threw together an album concept because I was really bored. Then there were two other songs. There was Away and Broken Life. Away, that one didn't really come from like any specific ideas. That one just kind of just popped into my head and I'm like, ooh, okay, I like that idea. Meanwhile, Broken Life was just kind of circling back to the story of a broken life. So I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna use this idea and I'm gonna kind of just bring it full throttle, make it a really cool album closer. It'll be fun. It'll be awesome. And it was. Then then there was Dreamer Nightmare, which was a collab with one of my friends, and there was Unstable, which was just completely random. So Dreamer Nightmare, I completely changed genres for a sec, and I went like full on like trap metal, which in hindsight was really odd and did not fit the pacing at all of the album. And I think that's adding that song onto it was like the stupidest idea ever. But me and my buddy still had a blast recording it, and it was a lot of fun. I'm really happy with it. Unstable just was like so I had finished the album by that point. I had no plans to put Dreamer Nightmare on it. Ended up putting it on anyway. Like I made that decision like a couple weeks before I released it, like the album. But then I'm like, okay, I have this random song just sitting around here doing nothing, which was Dreamer Nightmare. So I figured, okay, I'm gonna just like put this on, even if it doesn't fit. I'm just gonna throw it somewhere in the middle of the album. But seems like it's even like keeping the pacing consistent a little bit with like the darker tone. In hindsight, it messed up the pacing of the album so badly in that part, but still such a great song. I'm really happy that my friend was willing to work on that with me. Then, anyway, then Unstable came from the fact that I finished the album like over a month before my deadline and was just bored and wanted to add something else to it. So I'm like, ooh, this is a cool song. And then like I had the premieres and everything set up on YouTube. Then I took them down like maybe a week before the album was supposed to release and redid them because I realized the mixing on it was like awful and the vocals were like really drowned out by the pre-made instrumentals, which I really don't know how to adjust that. And I haven't tried to because I don't want to mess with something if like I didn't make it. Then next, the recording process. That was horrendous. So my bed was over on this side. I'd be sitting facing this wall. It'd be really hot in my room. I had a headset kind of similar to this, except it had a attached microphone and also was wired, not Bluetooth. It was a gaming headphone, like gaming headset, not really meant for recording music because it had a really awful mic. So I think the main issue I bumped into recording it was I just never had the energy. I kept getting sick off and on, and didn't think I was actually gonna make the deadline, but like I finished everything by like late August. So it was really weird for me because like I had to kind of read the lyrics as I went. It's probably apparent in some of the songs because they're like really lousy in the vocal delivery. But like I was reading the lyrics to the songs like as I was recording it just to make sure like I don't bump anything up. And especially with songs like The Real Victim where the instrumental's like absurdly loud. I had to adjust the mixing so much to actually make the vocals audible, just to realize my vocal execution was horrible. So I re-record a part, and it's even worse the second time. I undo it. I realize the original version is still bad. Redo it again. It took me like 2 hours to record the real victim, and like I think I recorded it like 2 days before I released it. Yeah, yeah, because I announced the release date like I want to say a, like an hour after I finished recording the song. So that song released. My next project was Gray Line, and I'm like, okay, this is gonna be the song that I use to announce this album. And I'm struggling to hit these notes because A, I'm sitting down, and B, I have no energy. That was like a recurring issue throughout the entire cycle of this album. Just a lack of any type of motivation to like actually work on it. So I'm sitting there, I'm recording, everything goes well. Then a couple of weeks later, I record I Hate Myself Sometimes, which was at the time my favorite song I've ever made. Like literal like the real victim and gray line were here, and like I Hate Myself Sometimes was like up to here. Like that was fantastic at the time. So I dropped that, and I'm like listening to the original recordings of the real victim and gray line, and I'm like, wow, these suck. Like these are complete shit. So I go back, I re-record them, I re-release them. All was well. Then I realized I need to work on the rest of the album. Oh my god. So I bang out all the songs. Then it's about a week before releasing. I remix everything and adjust it. I release the album. I get a lot of mixed reviews from friends, some saying that like one of my friends said it sounded like it was recorded with like a garage band, if I'm remembering correctly. I mean, I'm not really sure how I was supposed to take that. It definitely wasn't offended, but I'm like, I don't have a garage, first up. Second up. I think the main thing was, like, yes, it did sound like it was recorded in a garage with a really crappy and cheap setup, but I mean, it's all good and fun. Like, it was an album that I was proud of at the time. I am no longer proud of it. Now, let me explain why. First up, I have this mic now, which I'm using to record all my music and my videos now. Second up, I have much better writing than I did. Third up, I think I have a lot of really bad memories connected to the recording of Teenage Nightmare. Especially like I'd be recording a song while simultaneously dealing with some sort of situation. But it was like just really frustrating trying to actually get everything prepared to release it. Then when I did, it didn't really feel like it was worth it because the album's not performing well. Nothing has above like 30 listens. And I think releasing that album was probably like still my biggest regret, even though it wasn't even a whole year ago. I just think there's so much that I could have done better that I just didn't achieve. But looking forward now, I plan on doing like some major other stuff with that album, fixing it up, seeing where I bumped up and getting it back into like my current quality. I just think that the whole album was kind of a fever dream, honestly. I don't know. I don't think releasing it was my smartest move, but I mean, it's honest effort. I tried. I this is only my first time doing vocals, which would like I think the biggest thing that brought me into making music was I wanted to like prove something because I'm only really wanted to prove this to myself because like when I was in chorus in my first 2 years of high school, my confidence with my singing was like completely desecrated. So I'm like, I want to make something that went wrong go right for once and make it go in my favor. I want to prove to myself that I'm capable of more than what I was told because I was like singing a really low range and obviously it's improved a lot. I just wanted to prove to myself that I can do more than just like base level stuff. So I tried different stuff, had a little fun with it, made an album. Wasn't too thrilled with it, but I mean, it's still better than when I was in that choir class. And I think I'm at a much better place now than I was when I made Teenage Nightmare. And I've been making good progress on my next album, which I know I promised to release on the 16th of May. That did not happen because it is the 28th now, and that album did not release yet. Uh, if this doesn't release on the 28th, that's the 28th the day I'm recording this. Just wanted to get that out there. So I think that is all for my reflection on Teenage Nightmare. Uh, I guess see you when the album releases.